Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I have invented the 10-minute meeting! The graphics. When you guys get home and watch it, it's going to be amazing. All right, Ashland City Council meeting of June 20th. This one starts off and says, there's a new city clerk pro tem appointment because our city clerk quit like 2 months after being elected in the fall. And so we have a temp, and her name is Dana Smith, and she did some law and clerk stuff. She's appointed, Deborah. And she goes, hey, by the way, the Ukrainian sister city presentation is coming up. And so this first guy says, we have lots of Ashlanders supporting us. And the second guy says, I aid workered in Ukraine, that's a word, workered, in Ukraine last year, and that war's so wrong, and I met a Ukrainian aid group that has setting up sister cities. And the first guy said, I'm setting up a benefit concert in August with a Ukrainian pianist in town here. And then some guy on Zoom from the Ukrainian aid group said, we've got 7 sister cities, and your sister city is beautiful and called Sverikirsk. And so, Sversk. And then this one says, so what do they want? And the first guy says, just the support is helpful. We don't expect any money from the city, just the gravitas of having the city support us will help us fundraise. And this one says, I spoke to the mayor of this city, sister city, and spoiler alert, he loved his city. And then this one says, where's this guy? This one guy goes, hey, my wife's from Poland, so I'm all for this. And then this guy says, hey, how close is this town from the fighting? And the first guy says, well, Russia just got kicked out of there last year, and they're like 50 kilometers away. And this one said, blah, 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 blah. And then, how are you certain any money is going to the right place? And this Ukrainian aid guy said, we're setting that up, and we're dealing with the governments and anti-corruption people and stuff. And then she says, maybe we can vote on this at the end of the meeting. And then the wildfire budget presentation. This is I don't know why this is a thing, but it's a thing. City manager Joe Lassard, he looks like this guy. He says, hey, despite what people say, we didn't cut any wildfire funding in this year's budget. Our funding just shifted due to grants and timber sales lessening and water fund money and Parks Department changes, blah, blah. And then assistant city manager Sabrina Cotta, she says, we've allocated a good amount of money for police and fire, so everything's fine. And then the new finance director, Marion Berry, said, what Joe said. And then fire chief Ralph Sartain says, he goes, hey, I'm not sure how this info got out that the fire budget was cut in half, but it's not true, and don't worry, I'm going to find a rat who ratted that out. And plus, the new fire marshal is also in charge of the Firewise program, so things are going pretty good. And then the city manager's report, that's Joe Lassard again, and he says, hey, there's a new fire truck, and it might be ready for the 4th of July parade. And on July 7th, there's some council retreat, and some council citizen meetings might happen in the next couple of months. And the utility billing department is now in the Grove starting next week, and the new city website contract is up for bid, so everybody in town is looking forward to that. And the city pool is now open. And on July 31st, the Croman Mill Department of Energy and Quality people, DEQ, are making some presentation. And then public forum. This bald guy came up and said the 5G ordinance that the League of Oregon Cities wrote, that Ashland has copied, makes Ashland obsequious. And I did have to look that up, and it's obedient to an excessive or servile degree. Oh boy, servile. All right, anyway, and he said, and every intersection will have routers on all 4 corners poisoning us. And then the original OG 5G lady said she held up a meter, and it was clicking, as a box clicking, it was clicking, and this is the amount of electrosensitive radiation that's going on. And it went click, 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 click. And she said, I am disabled and can't visit Los Angeles to help my mother. And then the consent agenda, 5 items passed. They were all great, I'm sure. And then this one goes, I just want to recuse myself from the appointment of a transportation committee member because, he's my son. Left the room, all approved. And then this one set up and said, I would like to, where is this guy? He goes, I would like to recuse myself from the vote for Tracker Solar because, I sometimes work for them. That was exciting. But he said, but before I go, I just want to say that they are great and you should vote for all of them. Then he left the room, so he doesn't have any input. All approved. And then they take a 5-minute break, which is my thing. A 5-minute anything should be mine exclusively. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they're allowed. It should have been 10. Thank you. And that's what goes. And they come back and says, it's ordinance and resolution time. And she says, supplemental budget resolution. Marion Barry, the finance director, says, we need $59,000 more for the present budget, this 2023 budget. $40,000 is going to go for the new city recorder election fund, and the rest is for parks temporary employees, which is kind of paid by, I didn't understand, all for a grant maybe. That was all approved. And then a contract with Grayback Forestry and Assistant City Manager Sabrina Cotta. She says, she goes, hey, this is the continuation of the forest thinning they're already doing. That's all approved. And so everyone loved that one. And then a contract with RVTV to cover the meetings through 2026, like they always do. If you ever watch the YouTube there of the council meetings, that's normal. And then Communications Director Dorinda Cotta. She shows up, not this time. She says, we are also creating an app just for Ashland City videos. And so meetings are going to be on there first, and then maybe some more public videos, public service videos, you know. And then this guy goes, oh yeah, man, maybe we can have 360 recordings of the Zoom calls on all committees and commission meetings, and we can have different angles, and we can plug it into the, you know, and they all got very excited about having an app, and but it was all approved. And then a contract with Pathways, the Pathways company, to continue doing the cleanup in the parks, the garbage in the bathrooms, and. This is a one-year extension of what they are already doing. And this guy goes, hey, the other guy goes, hey, are the bathrooms still dangerous for these workers? And the city guy said, well, Pathways has been training their people to avoid certain situations and stuff like that. And then this guy goes, are you checking on the quality? Are you checking on this quality? And the city guy goes, they do everything we ask them to do, so we kind of have to use them by state law. We got to keep using these guys. And then this one goes, she goes, I don't think they're doing a good job. Garbage cans are often overflowing, and I've emptied garbage cans myself. And then the assistant city manager says, we're getting new cans. It's in the budget, and they're going to be bigger, and there's going to be more recycling sizes and everything. And then this guy goes, yeah, these, he says, the present can's design is a terrible design, and there's spots around the edge that just collects trash, and if only cash, right? Trash. You collect trash, and then they're like, that's came out new to me. And then she goes, the mayor goes, hey, when are these things coming? And the city manager says, soon I would hope. Soon I would hope. You cannot be more non-committal than that. So that's put a lot on that. This one says, by the way, Pathways is so important group and separate from the garbage problem, which is completely somebody else's fault. And this one goes, she goes, well, the garbage is ridiculous, so I'm not bored with just continuing with this same system. And this one goes, these people are troubled, and so they should not be held accountable. And then this one says, she goes, Pathways is great and should never be criticized. Did anyone say, hey, whoever the city is supervising Pathways should supervise better and change their plan a bit and maybe help these workers develop better skills that wouldn't just benefit them but also improve garbage pickups? No, they didn't say that. Of course not. Approved 5-1. She's not on board. And then Scott Fleury, Public Works Director, he's the guy with the beard. Here he is. There he is, Scott Fleury. He goes, he says, hey, a contract for the design and engineering of the redo of Ashland Street, kind of like we did on Hersey Street. Remember, Hersey Street's new, right? So from the Siskiyou Boulevard to the fire station, they're going to redo it like that. And it includes bike lanes and 2 new flashing crosswalks. And the total estimated price was $3.1 million in 2019, and now it's $4.1 million. But and this is this contract with Dowell LLC is just for the design for $400,000. And this one says, she goes, we need to build it fast. Because when the food and beverage tax stops in 2030, we can never build roads again, right? Thanks, no to food and beverage people. And this one goes, this guy goes, he goes, that's exactly right. So he says, pretty much true. So we're stockpiling food and beverage money in the street fund so we can use it after 2030. Good and weird and maybe not, I don't know. And then so how much money does the street fund make interest-wise? And then this guy goes, well, it doesn't make money. And then this one, this was kind of a weird one. This one starts talking to this one, and she goes, yeah, he thinks the street fund is like a money market fund. That's an investment. So we're getting. And then this guy goes, no, it's not an investment fund. We're not getting money. So it's all approved. And then this guy goes to the next thing. It says the contract to actually build this project is $3.7 million with the contractor Knife River, and it could start in July and end in September. That would be great. And this one says, hey, He says, people are worried about fire evacuation if construction's on Ashland Street blocking this section. And then this guy goes, asphalt has to be done in the summer. We'll do our best. That was it. And all approved. And then permission to use Dry Creek landfill for wastewater biosolids. And that's a kind of a normal thing. And then she goes, hey, she goes, any word on composting these biosolids ourselves? And then Scott Fleury says, hey, we did a composting study. It's almost finalized, but basically it's just too expensive. It's too expensive to do that. And then this one says, she goes, you know what? We didn't even need to build this plant 20 years ago, so I'm still kind of pissed off about that, but got a dump. And then so all approved. And then sewer chemicals were ordered and approved. And then stormwater ordinance, the public works director, Scott Fleury, here he is again. He goes, hey, this is what he said. He says, hey, our stormwater drains are separate from sewer water pipes, and DEQ, the Department of Energy Quality, Environmental, that's right, correct, thank you, gives the city a permit for stormwater because it ultimately drains into the streams and stuff, and DEQ has a new directive on to do more on pollution enforcement and other stuff. And so we're creating a new stormwater ordinance so we can do more stuff. And these two guys go like, we love clean water, so we're for it. But what that has to do with stormwater, I'm not certain. And that was all approved. Fun fact. Many cities are using this new DEQ Clean Water Act directive to start a new stormwater fee. So keep your eyes and ears on a swivel. And then a bunch of small changes to council protocols. I think there's a new rule in the city where the city will respond to citizens within 3 days of a question. Fingers crossed, / don't believe it. And then there's some rules allowing certain people to attend meetings by Zoom. And then this one chimes up and says, hey, regarding that whole sister city idea, we should support them. I move to adopt we should, and then this one says, no, we should support these people. I second that. And this one says, it costs us nothing and aligns with Ashland's values. And every single counselor was like, loved to talk about it, said how much they loved it, and blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, blah, 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 blah. And there was one person who wasn't blah, blah, blah on this issue. No kidding, this one. She just said, I'm all for it. No need to talk about it. I'm like, what? It was all approved. So if you thought Guanajuato was hard to pronounce, meet your new sister city, excuse me, sir. So what is it? Sviatorsk. I am told that's close. Sviatorsk. And then the mayor said this guy and this guy, this one and this cartoon one, they're going to Guanajuato next month as our ambassadors to our sister city. Money well spent, I'm sure. And that's it in the meeting. You're welcome. Woo! Sviatorsk.